So I just want to come on here and just kind of go over what's on my mind. And on YouTube, what I've been seeing lately is, a lot of us have been posting about if YouTube is actually easy. Is it on easy mode is the question. And to be honest, since I've been consistent, because I've been really consistent with posting videos, right? Since I've been consistent, I've been seeing progress. And with consistency, you're going to see a lot of progress. You're going to see people randomly just watch your video out of nowhere, out of the blue. And this is something that can be very encouraging. Because when you see someone just start watching your video all of a sudden, it's like, wow, yes, I finally got a subscriber, or yes, I finally got more views on that low video that's just been sitting there catching dust. You know what I mean? Because when you first start, you're going to have videos that are just sitting there. You're literally going to have videos just sitting in the vault, just waiting to be swept away because it's just sitting there. But someone is going to come along the lines and they're going to see this video and they're going to see your title and they're going to say, this sounds interesting. Let me take a look at this video. Just like that. Now you got a new viewer. And what happens is once you get that new viewer, they may like the video. What would be even better is if they start subscribing and they sharing the video. That would be even better than just liking the video. Now they'll put that content, your content, in front of their subscribers. So now their subscribers are like, who is this he's putting up here or she's putting up here? Now they're looking at your video. And now it just becomes almost like an avalanche effect, which is a beautiful thing. And I feel if you are consistent enough with YouTube, right? If you are consistent enough and you say to yourself, I'm going to continue to post. I'm going to continue to post videos. I'm going to continue to, do the things that I need to do in order to be successful. Eventually, you will be successful. You will be successful because you're putting in the work. You're being consistent. You are taking it seriously, and you're not giving up. And I think that's one of the key ingredients on YouTube. When you are a YouTuber and you start really understanding that in order for me to be successful, I got to put in the work. What's going on? Thanks for joining. So I'm just talking about the YouTube journey on here. And I just feel it can get challenging. It gets to a point where you're like, will I be monetized? Because all of us have some form of want that we get on here and we look for, right? Some of us are doing it just for fun. Some of us are doing it because we want to get monetized one day, right? Some of us are doing it because we're like, you know what? I want to create a following. I want to create a big following of many people, many like-minded people, right? A lot of us want to have that big following so we know, okay, this is what we all love to do. And this is something that we can all just gather around and get more ideas from. You guys understand? Thank you for everyone that's joined. I'm just talking about, the whole field of just being a YouTuber, because there's a lot of challenges. Let me see. Sorry, guys. This is quite exquisite motivational speech. Thank you. I appreciate it. But my journey here, I'm going to share my journey with you guys. My journey has been full of challenges and it's been pretty rocky at times. But one thing I can say that I can show you guys and tell you guys is don't give up. If it's anything in life that you really want, whether it's YouTube, whether it's something else that you've been just dreaming of, fantasizing of, do not give up. I know it sounds cliche. I know everybody will say something like that, but understand this. Understand this. Anything in life worth having, it sounds cliche again, anything worth having is worth fighting for. Trust me when I say this. Because every day you wake up, you are sacrificing. If you really think about it, you're going to a job that you may not like, right? You're going to work for an employer and you're making someone else rich. I think about that every day and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. For me not to sacrifice for my dreams, not to sacrifice for myself is insanity. And everyone should think that way, right? Shouldn't we want more for our lives than to just continuously work for someone else? I know everyone is not meant to have their own business, not meant to, invest money in stocks and bonds and all these things. Not everyone is cut out for that. And I definitely understand that. But what I don't understand for the life of me is just getting up every day like a robot, waking up to the sound of a blaring alarm clock on the side of your dresser, getting up to go start your car and to go sit in 45 to 55-minute traffic. I don't know why I named the specific time, but it's crazy. It's really crazy. Like people will just understand this. Like you don't want to just let your life pass you by, right? We all have a journey. We all have goals. We all have things that we want to build. We got things that we want to be successful in, right? So we don't want to continuously just let it pass us by. And when I say pass us by, I mean one day you're going to look in that mirror and you're going to look and you're going to say, where the hell did time go? Trust me when I say it, all of us will have that moment in the mirror where we're looking and we're just analyzing our face and we're like, I got all these gray hairs. I don't know what happened. Like, honestly, I don't know how I got to this point. Because all of us have that flashback period where we look at ourselves in the mirror and we're like, I remember being on the porch with my friends, eating ice cream, watching Saturday morning cartoons. You guys know what I'm talking about? Just enjoying life, no responsibilities. I'm sure some of us can still remember those days. Those days were definitely memorable. I'm going to say that. As a millennial, I can say those days were memorable. I love those days. I really love those days. It's okay, you're not ready for just appreciate the present. Oh, I'm definitely ready for the I'm definitely ready. You say, okay, you're not ready for the future. I'm definitely ready for the future. That's for sure. But what future will we have if we don't appreciate the past? That's a question you got to ask yourself. And like I said, we have to understand. We got to understand something. Like life is what we make it, right? We can sit up here and say we are enjoying life, and some of us are enjoying life, right? Some of us are. But at the same time, you have to go home and you have to look at yourself in the mirror and you have to ask yourself this question. Are you living? And by that, I mean, a lot of us are existing, but are you living? And it's a serious question because a lot of us don't know the difference. We don't even think about or understand the definition of living and existing. Most of us are alive. Let's just say that. Most of us are alive, but are we actually living? And I think the answer to that question is no. For many of us have a lot of dreams, and unfortunately, our dreams get killed by the 9 to 5, the hamster wheel, the so-called American dream. You guys know what I'm talking about. The American dream that they preach to us. You know the saying, the whole white picket fence, the fancy car, the big house. That's the American dream that they preach to us. You guys hear that all the time, right? That cliche American dream. Do you guys believe in the American dream? Do you guys actually think that working a 9 to 5 will get you those things? It may get you those things, or it may not. But the fact of the matter is, we have to figure out in this life, what is our purpose? We have to figure it out. What's your purpose? Is your purpose to just be a robot? Because they're actually counting on us to be robots. A lot of us are moving around robotically in the first place. You're going to a 9 to 5 every single day. You're waking up at 5, 6 in the morning. And what's waking you up? That blaring alarm clock by the side of your bed is waking you up. And like I said, now you got to go to your car, warm your car up, start it up, get it warm, and then just to sit in 20, 30-minute traffic to go to a place that you don't even like. And then on top of that, when your job is done and you punch out, now you got to get back in your car, warm it up, go sit in more traffic to get home, just to not want to get in the house, because now you have to deal with your significant other or whoever is in that home. Because not all the time you want to deal with people, right? Everyone needs that decompression time. But exactly what I'm saying, we all need to have a purpose. That's my point. We all need to have a purpose. We cannot just go about in this life and just not have any purpose. What's the first thing you do every day? I'll tell you. First thing I do, or at least I try to be consistent with, is say a prayer. That's one of the first things I try to do every morning, is just pray that I made it to another day. Just pray and be blessed that I am alive. Because a lot of us have not made it to the next day. And exactly my point of what I'm saying is, this is why, with waking up to see another day, we need to figure out what our purpose is. Right? So that's the main message that I'm trying to talk about on here. We need to find what our purpose is, true purpose. Yes, I am, Josh boy. Yes, definitely. Two kids. Giving thanks, working the 9 to 5 is a dream come true for many people around the world. That is true. And just like I said, working a 9 to 5, some people love it. And my thing is, if you know your purpose is a 9 to 5, do it. But for some of us, that is not our purpose. Some of us have other dreams. Some of us have things that we want to accomplish that, unfortunately, a 9 to 5 doesn't always make easy for those things to happen. For me personally, in my experience, a 9 to 5, it kills my creativity. I'm also a poet. I love to write. I love to create stories. I love to just think of new ideas, right? So depending on what kind of 9 to 5 I'm in, from my experience, a lot of the 9 to 5s that I worked did not promote the creativity that I've had. So a lot of times when I would try to, explain the creativity, the things that, try to implement it in a way where it will benefit the job, a lot of people, unfortunately, didn't want to hear it, because A lot of them didn't care. A lot of them were selfish. They only thought about certain other people. So when you try to create certain things, to try to promote the job, to try to make things better in the environment, sometimes you're not heard and you fall on deaf ears. And that's the unfortunate thing. When you have like certain creative ideas, not everyone wants to hear you. Not everyone wants to hear you. Okay, we have Pat Pretense. What's up, Pat? Is success a measure of happiness? I've learned that motivation is secondary to discipline. Yeah, I believe success is a measure of happiness. I honestly do. Because if you don't feel like you've succeeded in any way, me personally, I'm gonna speak for myself. I'm not gonna speak. I'm gonna say if I feel I don't reach kind of uh any kind of aspect of success, me personally, I'm gonna feel like I haven't reached where I want to be. And in turn, I feel like that's not going to make me more happy. So it's going to bring me down a little bit if I feel like I have not reached where I want. That's me personally speaking. Um, but like I was saying before, everyone is different. Some people will be happy working a 9 to 5. Some people will be happy, doing the most simplistic thing. There's so many simple people around the world that it doesn't take much for them to be happy. And that's a beautiful thing. Some others, they have to be doing certain things in the world for them to be happy. They have to reach certain heights, certain pinnacles in their career across the board with certain things. And if they do not reach those successes, they're not going to feel happy. Now, like I was saying, I've worked at certain jobs. Let me read this one real quick, guys. Let's see. So Joshy Boy says, yeah, an interview I once saw said that they are staying in line and being a follower doesn't bloom creativity, and that you must be the one to decide if you're gonna out like going out there and spread it. That it touched me. Yeah, true. Listen, we all need to find our path. We all need to find our path. If we do, we cannot stay a follower of someone, right? We need to be leaders. Some people choose to follow. That's going to be on them. But honestly, in my experience, from my observation, I feel when you start to lead in your life and you start to follow a path that you want to create, I feel you start giving yourself more power. That's just my opinion. Okay, I measure success in 4 ways: health, family, faith, and lastly, money. That's a good list. That's definitely a good list. And to be honest, I actually made a video on that, on health. Health truly is wealth. You are 100% right on that, Pat. Health is truly wealth. If you do not take care of yourself, you cannot do anything else. You have to take care of yourself. You have to exercise properly. You have to eat properly. You have to just do things to make yourself well, if that makes sense. Josh boy, do you go to church? I don't go to church as much as I used to because I'm working so much right now, but I do read my Bible and I do try to pray more often. Josh boy just subscribe. You're great. I appreciate that, Josh. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. If you guys have any questions, just drop it in the line. I really appreciate it. I hope all you guys actually subscribe. It's all about just supporting each other. And like I said, I've been on this YouTube journey for how long have I been on this now? I would say maybe a couple years. I actually fell off, to be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I fell off of doing YouTube and I just picked it back up maybe about a month or two ago. And since that month or two ago, I just kept going hard. I just kept posting videos, doing lives, just keep going. Because I told myself, in order to, this is another thing I wanted to let you guys know. With success, you could add consistency to that list as well, Pat. Consistency. Without consistency, I feel you cannot get anything done really. Like you're going to fall off with everything if nothing is consistent. Because I feel like consistency is the cousin of discipline. And if you are not consistent with the things that you're doing in your life, how are you going to reach a goal? How? You could say, yeah, I'm motivated. Yeah, I'm motivated. I can do this. I'm motivated. Guess what happens to motivation after a while? It drops off because one day it will rain. One day it'll snow. One day it's going to be real cold outside. One day there's going to be a good series on Netflix that you want to watch. Then what you going to do? Where's your motivation going to be then? And like you said, Pat, discipline. Discipline is greater than motivation. Yes, 100%. 100%. And I've come to realize that because I'm like, I'm not being disciplined with my life, right? And I just feel like the more I don't be disciplined, the more I start realizing I'm not where I'm at in my life for a reason. And when you're not where you are in life, yeah, sure, there's a lot of, things that may cause you not to be where you are, but consistency is going to help you. That's definite. No matter where you are in your life, if you are consistent with what you are trying to do and accomplish, and that means having the discipline to continue on, no matter what life throws at you, because life is going to punch us all up. It's going to knock some of us out. Life is going to give us a bunch of rib shots. It's going to give us uppercuts. It's going to give us jabs. Real talk. It's going to hurt us a lot. But we got to understand when life starts throwing all them punches, some of them we could duck. We can just, duck those punches. But some of them we're going to get knocked out. But we got to get right back up. We have no choice. Because one thing I've always said is life doesn't have a pause button. I'm going to repeat that again. Life does not have a pause button. If you guys could pause life, would you do it? Is there any instant that you could think of in your life where you would say, I'm going to pause right here during this time. I'm going to pause life. Can you guys think of any moment where you would say, I'm going to pause? Let me read some of these comments. Let's see. I hope during that time you've been off the platform. You've been focusing on yourself and going out there and thriving. I'm glad you came back though. I appreciate that. So during my time off, I don't feel like I was thriving. I'm gonna be honest. I don't feel like I was thriving. I feel like I was like trying to figure out where I'm going in life. You guys have those moments where you're like, am I doing life right? Like, am I on the path of life that I'm supposed to be on? All right. Is it okay not to know? No, not really. Okay, some people, it's kind of sporadic. If some of you want to pause life, there's been moments I wanted to pause life. I'm gonna be honest. There's moments where I was just like, man, this is a good feeling. Like one moment I could say that I wanted to pause life was when I was a child. And when I was not a child, not a little child, but maybe about teenager. And I used to hang out with my friends on the porch. This is when we had no responsibilities. We see the cars pass by. We were like, yeah, that's my car right there. That's mine. You guys remember those days? That time, I would say I would probably pause it only because I just want to appreciate it more, because things have changed so much in society. Like the little things that I used to appreciate, back then when I was just sitting on the porch with no responsibilities, no bills, no insurance, none of this, and I was just sitting on the porch with my friends. Those are the moments where I would pause it just to be in that moment again and appreciate it. Because life can go by really fast and we just stop appreciating things, right? We stop appreciating things and we wonder why life just seems to blow by us. Because I feel like the more you stop and just appreciate life, you make life stand still for quite some time. But when you're just always in a rush, you're like, oh, I got to get to work. Oh, I got to pay this bill. Oh, I got to do this. You forget the sun is shining outside. You forget to appreciate the grass outside that you're walking on. You forget how nice and cool that water is when you taste it. My point is we stop appreciating the very small things that are good for us. And it's very easy to stop appreciating these things because life can just take us all out of it. Life has a way of saying, you know what? Life is hard, but I got to get to work. You start putting things over the appreciation. You start looking at other things and saying to yourself, I don't know if I want to keep doing this. And you just get into this robotic mode where everything is a responsibility. And I understand because we're adults now, right? We're all adults. We have bills, we have insurance, we got mortgages. Oh man, I don't even like the sound of that word, mortgages. It just sounds horrible. I've never liked the sound of that word. Mortgage. Say that word nice and slow and just feel in your body how that sounds. I got a mortgage. It sounds crazy. Let me see. Let me read some of these comments. I heard a really good prospective. I think, were you trying to say perspective? Perspective the other day. Someone asks, if I gave you 100 million, would you take it? If yes, then if you couldn't wake up tomorrow, would you still take it? That's a good perspective. Yeah. A lot of us would say yes if that wasn't the situation. If we knew we were going to wake up, a lot of us would say yes. But then again, if we know we're going to die, we would appreciate where we are. That just goes to show you money isn't all what it cracks up to be, Pat. That's what that says. Well, we all start off small, and it's okay to know what you're going to do. But eventually we start going somewhere. It's okay not to know now, but eventually we will. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Joshy. I definitely agree. Then why not live every day like it's worth more than $1 million? That's the point you're trying to bring up, Pat. Yeah, and that's comes back to the same point I was bringing up in the beginning. Finding your purpose. Now, purpose doesn't always have to mean money. Purpose could mean finding what you want to do with yourself. Like I said, I'm a poet. I love to write. And that's something that I feel passionate about. I can write poetry and feel like I'd never worked a day in my life. Like if you pay me money to write poetry, right? If you pay me money, sorry, let me take these off. If you pay me money to write poetry, I would honestly feel like I'm not working a day in my life. Real talk. I would feel like this is like, are you calling this work? It wouldn't be work to me. It would not be work to me. And if you guys want to, I'm seeing something from Pat. If you guys do want to hear some of my poetry, I have it actually on my other channel. My other channel, sorry, I'm blanking out. I'm trying to think of my other channel's name. This is Blackdad I Can. This is this channel. My other channel is called, one second, guys. Let me bring it up for you. Give me 1 second. So my other channel is called Pencil Poetry. So if you type that in, you should see my other channel, Pencil Poetry. So guys, check that out. Hope you guys do subscribe to that, because I do have some of my poetry on there that I do recite, and I also speak on that channel as well. Pencil Poetry. Yep, you got it, Josh. But guys, I had a great time on this live, and I hope you guys subscribe. I hope I hear from you guys again, and I hope once you subscribe, I'm going to check out your guys' channels as well, because I want to see what you guys are posting as well. So I just want to say I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for joining, and I hope to hear from you soon. Hope to converse with you later. All right? Take care, guys. Peace.